Hi, Mac friends! I am coming to you from my front porch because it's been so nice outside. I decided to read to you while I enjoy the weather. I hope everyone's had a chance to enjoy the weather. I know it's making some of our allergies a little rough, but it's still super nice outside. I know we're taking the dog for walks and we're enjoying the pretty sunshine and we're doing lots of fun stuff outside right now. So I decided to read outside. I do not have the egg today because we are outside. I don't really have a good place to put it. So we're not going to use the egg today, but that's okay because I think you guys will be just fine. We're going to read 3 books. 2 of them are a little bit shorter, and then one is long, but it's kind of funny. So I think we'll like that one. We are going to do Texas, Pennsylvania, and we are going to do Washington, D.C. Now remember we talked about Washington, D.C. and how it's its own area. It's not really a part of any state. It's called the District of Columbia, so it's its own little piece. So that's why we decided to go ahead and give it its own book, because it doesn't really belong to any state, but it's still a part of America, a big part of America. So even though it's super tiny, but it's a really big part and it's a big deal. So we've got a book for all of those. We're gonna go ahead and get started. The first book we're gonna do is for Washington, D.C. We are going to read this one. I already took off the dust jacket. It just makes it easier to read, but you can see the Washington, D.C. sticker on there that tells you that's what this book is for. So, N is for our nation's capital. Now, in case that didn't give it away, this is going to be an alphabet book. So as you can see, just by looking at these pages, lots of words, right? A lot of words. We are not going to read through all of those words. I have this book if you guys ever wanted to learn more about the specific things that I'm going to point out to you, but I'm just going to read these little snippets that tell us a little bit about what's on the page, okay? All right, so the first one, A. A is for Angel. Angel of the battlefield, Clara Barton took the lead. No matter what the danger, she helped soldiers in need. Clara Barton, she was a nurse. I think we all know some nurses right now, right? That are heroes, and they are doing an awesome job of keeping us healthy. Some of us have moms and dads that are nurses, right? Doing a great job of keeping us healthy and keeping other people healthy when everyone's having a hard time right now. So nurses are definitely heroes, especially right now we're learning. So, B is for the Blair House. Here, the president's guest, while visiting our nation's capital, has a place to rest. Oof, so pretty. Now, I'm from Virginia, which is very close to D.C. It's right below Washington, D.C. And I have been to Washington, D.C. many times, and the cherry blossoms are so pretty. C is for cherry blossoms, such a lovely view. To the people of Japan, we give our thanks to you. Pretty cherry blossoms. D is for a dream of Martin Luther King. He shared with everyone, let freedom ring. See lots of important things happen in Washington, D.C., right? E is for the Easter egg roll behind the South Lawn Gate, a White House tradition since President Hayes in 1878. What? An Easter hunt? Well, I think that's a holiday that's coming up, I don't know, on Sunday. Easter, it's coming up. And this Easter egg hunt happens every year, as we just learned. It happens. It's been happening since 1878. That's pretty cool. F is for freedom. During snow, rain, or sun, she guards the words we cherish. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. This is the Statue of Freedom, and it's on top of the Capitol building. That is Latin, that phrase that I said that you may not have understood, so I apologize if I did not say it correctly. George Washington, our first president, starts with the letter G. He planned our nation's capital and all that it would be. I think we all know about George Washington. Ooh, y'all know this one. H is for house, the most famous in our nation. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Everyone knows this location. I think y'all know what house that is, don't you? Yeah, it's the White House. It's a big deal. That's where the president lives. An island in the Potomac River has a statue 17 feet high named after Theodore Roosevelt. Island starts with the letter I. Theodore Roosevelt, one of our presidents. J is for jazz. We give recognition to a man they called the Duke, a D.C.-born musician. Ooh, jazz. I like jazz music. It's fun. And this gentleman was born in D.C. K is for Khalil Gibran, a poet the world came to know. A memorial garden for him is located on Embassy Row. A poet. You know it's National Poetry Month. So it's good to learn about a poet. Ooh, you know I like libraries. L is for Library of Congress. Here, find all the books published in the United States, filling each and filling each and every nook. Look at this building, and it's so big, and it's just full of books. Amazing. M is for Mrs. Madison. She said it was only right George Washington's portrait be safe before her flight. Now this is talking about there was an attack, and when her husband was president, they were fleeing the White House, and they were trying to go to safety, but she was trying to take valuables from the White House to keep safe, and one of them was a picture of George Washington. So that's something that she's definitely famous for. Oh, N is for National Mall. This is a place to play or give a speech about anything on any given day. A lot happens here. It's the Washington Monument. A lot happens right there. O is for O'Connor, a member of the Supremes, the first woman appointed to our highest judicial team, the Supreme Court. It's the first woman who's ever become a judge on the Supreme Court. P is for Powhatan people. They were here long before anyone thought of our nation's capital along the Potomac shore. It's a bit of a history of what was going on in Washington, D.C. before. President John Adams, which one? There were two. First the father, then the son. Thank goodness for the letter Q. We have President John Adams and President John Quincy Adams, so that helps you tell the difference. R is for a flower. In 1925, a commission chose this fragrant symbol of D.C., the American Beauty rose. It's very pretty. S is for Star Spangled Banner. I think we know that song. It inspired Francis Scott Key to write the words we sing and cherish, "Oh, say, can you see?" We hear that song a lot before every sports game, and we hear it on the TV a lot. That's for sure. We know the Star Spangled Banner. T is for tree. Ooh, lit up for Christmas. Seen near and far, shining so bright, way on top, a star. U is for Union Station. President Truman and his wife boarded a train for Missouri to resume their former life. That's U. V. Washington, D.C. is filled with memories of each and every war V is for all veterans who fought, wanting peace forevermore. W is for wood thrush, D.C.'s official bird. Before the sun is up, the song is often heard. X is for the X-1. It never went to the moon. This plane is on display because of the sonic boom. Again, these are all really cool things that if you would like to read more about, I'll have them at the school when we are back at the school and you can read about it. Y is for the Yard, a military base in D.C. Can you guess which one? They spend their time at sea. So, Marines, Navy. Z is for our National Zoo. As this book comes to an end, take time to visit our nation's capital and bring along a friend. I've been to the National Zoo. It's a lot of fun. All right, there is Washington, D.C. for us. Let's go ahead and do Pennsylvania. It's pretty short, and you'll have to forgive me because I do have to make up a song. Because you see, this book is called, you see my Pennsylvania sticker? This book is called Philadelphia Chickens. Philadelphia Chickens. Now, Philadelphia is the capital of Pennsylvania. So, I'm going to read you. Now, there is a lot of different songs in this book, but here's just this one called Philadelphia Chickens. Philadelphia Chickens. Which is going to make me sing something silly, and I kind of have to make up a tune, so bear with me. But if you haven't ever seen it, you can't understand. Chickens and a big swing band. They're tight on the turns and loose in the knees. Whatever they do it with ease. Well, I'm coming from Connecticut on I-95, heading toward the sunset on the East River Drive. To the pretty little city on the Delaware, the Philadelphia Chickens are sure to be there. Oh, the Philadelphia Chickens will be dancing tonight. Thousands of chickens in the pale moonlight. They can't sit still when the trumpets play. Strike up the band and get out of the way. Here come those Philadelphia chickens. Swing, slide, and roll. Philadelphia chickens, up over and stroll. If you want to start moving like anything, find a Philadelphia chicken to teach you to swing. I don't know if that's how it actually goes. I just made it up. But to me, it's pretty silly to think about chickens doing a dance, especially in Philadelphia. But if chickens were going to do any dance, I would think that they would do the chicken dance. I mean, that would be the easiest for them. That's it for Pennsylvania. That was pretty easy, right? I just had to do something a little silly and make up a song. I could do that. All right. Texas. See my Texas sticker? This book I like. I find it very interesting. It's called Why Cowboys Sleep with Their Boots On. I don't sleep with my shoes on, so he should have a very good reason, and I don't think many moms and dads would like it if we slept with our shoes on. So we're going to have to see if he has a really good reason for sleeping with his shoes on. Why cowboys sleep with their boots on. Slim Jim Watkins was one tired cowboy. Sliding out of his saddle, Slim Jim Watkins popped the dirt from his breeches. Seemed like he'd lassoed and branded more than 1,000 longhorn. All this didn't mind him much. He just wanted to go to bed. He does look pretty tired. So, Slim Jim Watkins stripped off his clothes, all but his long johns, and crawled into his bedroll. No sooner did he lay his head on his cowboy hat than Slim Jim Watkins was sound asleep. I have days like that where I get in bed and I'm asleep. Fall asleep quick when you're super tired, right? Oh, what is happening in this picture? He looks very comfy cozy, but there's a little something in his pants. I don't think that's supposed to be there. Do you know what those are? Snakes. Oh, I don't even like snakes. Woo. But there are snakes in his pants. Oh my goodness. Rise and shine, bellowed the chuck wagon cook. Slim Jim Watkins stretched, groaned, and reached for his breeches. My breeches! They're gone! Slim Jim Watkins searched and searched, but he couldn't find his breeches. This is enough to sour a man's outlook for the day. Well, yeah, me too if I lost my pants. Doesn't want to turn the page, but we have to know what happens next. There we go. Grumbling, Slim Jim Watkins slipped his chaps over his long johns and went to work. Darn, griped Slim Jim Watkins. These johns are wearing thin. I need my breeches. So, after a long day's work, Slim Jim Watkins went to town to buy new denim breeches. Finally got himself some new pants. That's important. It was dark when Slim Jim Watkins rode back to camp. He was a mighty tired cowboy. His bedroll was a welcome sight. Slim Jim Watkins stripped off all his duds, all but his long johns and his new breeches. Then he collapsed into his bedroll. No sooner did he lay his head on his hat than he was sound asleep. Snort, phew, snort, phew. It's like sleeping. Uh-oh. He hung a bandana on a tree. Uh-oh. Something taking it. It looks like a coyote or a wolf. Took his bandana. Rise and shine, roared the chuck wagon cook. Slim Jim Watkins stretched, yawned, and reached for his bandana. My bandana! It's gone! Slim Jim Watkins searched and searched but could not find his bandana. Finally, he went to work. Look at that. He's like, I know I left it there, right? Where did it go? Darn, growled Slim Jim Watkins. He coughed and choked from the dirt riled up by the cattle. I need my bandana. That night, Slim Jim Watkins traded a week's worth of dishwashing for the cook's bandana. After doing dishes, Slim Jim Watkins was one tired cowboy. After his irregular work, he had to do the dishes just to get a bandana. Lots of extra work. He stumbled to his bedroll and stripped off his duds, all but his worn long johns, new breeches, and new bandana. That night, he was so tired, he forgot to lay his head on his hat. I don't like the sound of that. He forgot his hat. Uh-oh. Oh. What is that? Can we see what that is? Is that an armadillo? Let me check the previous page. Oh, you guys. I think that's an armadillo. Running away with his hat. Can't go sleep anywhere. Animals will be taking your stuff. Soon after, the chuck wagon cook clanked its pots together and yelled, "Rise and shine." Slim Jim Watkins stretched and, my hat! Where's my hat? Slim Jim Watkins jumped to his feet. Frantically, he searched. Losing my breeches and bandana is one thing, but to lose my hat is something else again. What's a cowboy without his hat? Man. Get to work, boomed the trail boss. So Slim Jim Watkins went to work without his hat. Darn, beefed Slim Jim Watkins when the blistering sun burnt his face. I need my hat. So Slim Jim Watkins rode into town to buy a hat. Man, he's had to spend a lot of money because of these animals. The smoke of the campfire rolled skyward to the stars as Slim Jim Watkins rode his weary horse into camp. Slim Jim Watkins was a tired cowboy. Oh, is my bedroll gonna feel soft as a cow's underside tonight? Sitting beside his bedroll, Slim Jim Watkins started to pull off his boots. Ooh, now I can see something. I'm hiding back here. Probably waiting to take, I don't know, his boots. Probably his boots. On second thought, he said, I'm gonna sleep just the way I am. And he did, boots and all. And I'm willing to bet that he never lost anything else again. He slept in his clothes. Now, I don't know when he washed them, but he slept in his clothes. So, there you go. We managed to cover 3 states today. Again, we read, 2 states and our District of Columbia. So we read Washington, D.C., we read Pennsylvania, and we read Texas. So, those are the 3 states. Man, I keep saying states because it's so easy. Those are the 3 books that we read, 2 states in our District of Columbia book. If you have listened to this video, make sure that your parents email me so that you get credit and I can mark all of these off on your sheet. I will still be doing a party. I don't know when, and I don't know what kind of party yet, but I know it's happening. So, you make sure that you're still listening and you're still tuning in so that you can join us when we have our awesomely fun party. Alright guys, I will talk to you later and we'll do another one. We'll do another reading book, activity, and all of that. But I will see you guys next time. Alright?